Ladies and gents, welcome to the video. Today it is St. David's Day, which means the Welsh people around the world are making Welsh cakes, and that's exactly what we are going to do right now. So sit back, relax, and watch me make some Welsh cakes. Okay, so this is everything you need, ladies and gents, to make some delicious Welsh cakes. Okay, so for this recipe, it makes 12. You're going to need 12 ounces of plain flour, a pinch of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of mixed spice. I use nutmeg, because that's all you can really get your hands on. 6 ounces of butter or margarine, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, 4.5 ounces of castor sugar, 4 ounces of currants. In America, you only really have raisins. That's a good substitute. 2 eggs and a drop of milk. And that's everything that you need. Oh, and a griddle, like a bake stone to cook. Okay, so the first thing you are going to do is obviously get your scale ready. We're going to start by adding in the flour, which is what we have here, and the salt, the baking powder, the spice, the butter, and the sugar. Let's go. Well, that was shocking. Okay, so you are now at the point where you can start mixing. This is fun. Now eventually we're going to have to get our hands dirty, but for now, just do what we can. Try and get everything mixed in nice. Now for a cheeky little test, just to see. Yeah, that tastes like a Welsh. A little bit too wet here. Okay, so once we have rolled our dough, I'm probably going to have to roll this a few more times, to be honest, and then there's probably going to be lots left over. You're going to take a cookie cutter or like a little cake cutter or whatever, anything that's round, and all you're going to do is you're going to go like this, and then you're just going to take out that piece. Obviously, I need to do a little bit harder than that. So we whack this on, you probably can't see, but this is at 180 roughly, just under 200. But basically you want a constant temperature. Get our plate ready. Okay, so I added too much milk initially on the first batch, which is cooking over here, which just made them a little bit sticky. Which is fine. So all you're going to do is you're going to take a bit of flour. Now, I will say this, I needed self-raising flour, but I couldn't find any. So I just got some all-purpose. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold in the flour into the mixture that you have left over. And that's just going to make it a little bit drier and easier to work with. So what you do now is just roll it out, repeat the process, stick it on the griddle. You have it, guys. Welsh cakes are currently being cooked away, as you can see. They're looking delicious. A little tip for you is that once you put them on like a griddle of some sort, make sure you remember the first one you put down. So I went down like a snake, and the reason being is that I know that this is the first one that I need to check, and then over here are the last ones that I need to check. And then what you're going to do is once those ones are done, obviously your leftovers here, or the last bit of batch that you've made, you're just simply going to take these ones off, put them on the plate, and do the same process here. And then the final touch, which I'll show you in a second once I'm done. But anyway, this is yeah, typical how to make Welsh cakes. So obviously the only mishap that I had that I said is that I did add a little bit too much milk initially, which kind of made the first batch a little sticky, which is not ideal, but it worked out because they're cooking away, you know, nice and good over here. But then add just a little bit more flour to whatever's left over and just make that mixture a little bit more drier. But that's it. But anyway, gonna keep going with this, and then I'll show you the end result. Okay, so this is the kind of color that you want. You want a nice like browning on them. You don't want it too burnt for obvious reasons, but a nice little brown is absolutely perfect. These two were the last I put on, so I'm just waiting for them. But yeah, once those are done, take them off, cook up those, put them on, and then we add the final touches on these beautiful Welsh cakes. And finally, the last step, once you have plated them all up, you're going to sprinkle some sugar on top. And enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah. You're welcome. And there you have it. How to make Welsh cakes. Wasn't that fun? Yeah, so obviously Welsh cakes are obviously a Welsh staple food. But if you've recently discovered, for example, that you have Welsh heritage or great-grandfather, relatives or whatever that come over and that you have, or part Welsh, this is perfect. Obviously, ideally you want to make it on St. David's Day, but it can be had at any time of the year, and it is absolutely incredible, without a shadow of a doubt. I love them personally. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you very much. It was a little bit long-winded. I am going to get back into the YouTube game of making longer form content. I do have some trips that I've got planned. I'm going on a cruise next month to the Caribbean, and I'm going to be filming or trying to film some of that. So that's going to be exciting. Got a couple excursions that I'm looking forward to. A bit of like a, not scuba diving, sorry, snorkeling on a catamaran. Bit of Blue Lagoon action in Jamaica. It's going to be fun, and obviously underwater as well with the GoPro. So thank you very much for watching. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. And yeah, outside of the crew, like I said, I have a couple things that I want to plan and do, namely go back to Shenandoah, do a bit of hiking, for example. I want to do some camping. I want to film some camping in the mountains. I want to drive up and down the East Coast. I'd love to go to Tennessee. Maybe that's in the pipeline. I don't know, but there's definitely a few bits in the area around Maryland, for example, Virginia, West Virginia, that I'm able to drive to and take like a weekend hike and whatnot as well. So yeah, lots to come. Stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoy the Welsh cakes. And if you're new here, subscribe. I appreciate it. And give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Catch you on the flip side.